They require it. You need to raise that capacity of accepting the knowledge that you have, believing in it. If you do not believe in it, then that knowledge becomes useless for you. It's as if you don't know it. Just here, I want to add one thing before I go on. You know, a lot of people will say, and it is there amongst many people, that, you know, ignorance means that you don't know the thing. And they feel that if you don't know it, then it's good for you because you won't be asked about it. Right? They have gotten used to it. You know, every time they get caught, they say, oh, I didn't know. They know it, but they say, I didn't know. It's an excuse everyone uses, right? And I want to let everyone know that, you know, ignorance is not bliss. You might think ignorance is bliss, that, hey, if I don't know it, I won't be responsible for it. It might work with your boss, it might work at work, it might even work with the cops and the authorities and everything, but it doesn't work with Allah. It doesn't work with Allah. A lot of people think like that. You know, in the hereafter, when you will be taken for questioning, there will be two lines of people. There will be two lines of people. There will be people, you know, who have done wrong, and they knew that it was wrong and they did it. Meaning, they knew alcohol was haram and they drank it, so it's a sin. They'll be accountable for it. They'll be in one line. There are some people who remained ignorant, they didn't know it was haram and they did it. So these two will be put in two different lines. One who claimed that ignorance will be put in one line, the other, obviously, who knew will be put in another line. And the ones who are claiming ignorance, you know, when they'll be in the line, they'll be like, ah, you see those people there? You know, it's good we didn't know. Now those people will be responsible for what they did. They knew. They knew it was haram and they did it. They knew this was wajib and they didn't do it. They knew that you should pray and they didn't do it. At least we didn't know, alhamdulillah, we are good. Right? We are good. So these two lines will go. But when they will come to the questioning, they will see that the people who knew and did wrong will be asked one question, and the people who did not know will be asked two questions. Why are we being asked two questions? Why is our questioning harder? The question that those people who knew will be asked, why did you do haram, or why didn't you do the wajib? So whatever their reply is, they will say, Allah, I was lazy, I was a bum, whatever. That's fine, you know. And Allah will deal with you in whatever case you have. But those people who claim ignorance and never learned what is haram and what is wajib, they never learned Islam, they never learned what was their obligation. Those people will be asked two questions. First, they will be asked, why didn't you do it? And they who are practicing this answer all their life will proudly say, Allah, I didn't know. All their life they're practicing this. That's what I'm going to tell Allah on the Day of Judgment. I didn't know. So they'll answer that and they feel that, okay, whew, I gave the answer. That I was practicing all my life, I gave the answer. I didn't know Allah. So the second question will come. Is why didn't you know? Why didn't you know? Did you know the names of the football players in the NFL and the statistics?
Yes.
Yes. Did you know about the names of all the music artists and actors and this and that, and their lives and the affairs they had and how many divorces they had? Yes. Did you know all the cars and their models and their specifics and everything? Yes. So, for you, it means that everything was worth learning except for Islam. Islam was the only thing that was so useless in your eyes that you didn't care to learn about it. That's what it means. Those who say that I want to be ignorant, it means that you don't care about it. Otherwise you care about every other thing. You know all the other things. Why don't you know about the haram and halal of Allah? So that is out of us. You know, we are not even dealing with those people. I'm dealing with the audience right now who's here, who know and who want to learn. Even when we learn something, my friends, even when we know something, it is not enough. We need to believe in it for that knowledge to be useful for us. We need to accept that knowledge. If we do not accept it, then it means that it is useless for us. It's as if we do not know it. And those knowledges that can change our life require us to have the capability and capacity of believing in them. My friends, the words and the message of Imam Hussein requires believing in. If you want to know Imam Hussein, it's not enough to know Imam Hussein was killed on Ashura, he was did this now. It requires you to believe in it. Really, it requires you to come to terms with it, to accept it. Otherwise, knowing him is not enough. There must be belief in that. You know, Imam Hussein said that if you don't spend your life and your wealth in the way of Allah's wali and Allah's representative, then you will spend it in the way of Allah's enemy. In other words, if you don't work for the Imam for free, you will end up working for Yazid for free. Yes. If you don't work for Allah pro bono, you will work for Yazid pro bono. Yes, I will, whatever. I'll dedicate my life. Person said, but how can that be? I mean, maybe I'm not that strong of a moment to be a Husseini, but at least I'm not a Yazidi. Every Shia will say that. I'm not Yazidi. I'll never work for Yazid, even though, I'm not that strong enough to be with Hussein. But I'm not going to work for Yazid. How can that be? He said, no, there is a principle called ibtila. Imam Hussein is saying this is the truth. If you do not work for Hussein for free, then Allah will make you work for Yazid for free. Friends, this requires believing it, accepting it. Imam Hussein's head was cut. It was put on a spear, and it was taken around Kufa and Sham. And the head of Imam Hussein was reciting the ayat of the Quran. Do you know which ayat he was reciting?
I think
Safar. Am hasibtum anna ashab al-kahf wal-raqim kanu min ayatina ajaba. Imam Hussein was saying on the spear, and everyone was hearing it and listening to it. He was saying, do you think that the story of Ashab al-Kahf is strange and hard to believe? No, my story is harder to believe. This is harder to believe. You need to accept it. Knowing it is not enough. Accept it. That's what you need. My friends, Imam Hussein, his mission, his movement requires accepting, requires believing. If you do not believe in it, then the knowledge of it is not changing your life, having no effect on us. That's why a lot of times we pray, we do this, all these things. We pray, we do this, all these things. Why is my prayer not making me go spiritually high? You know the rules of prayers. You know Allah. You know that. You know Akhirat, but you haven't believed in it yet. You haven't accepted it yet. That's why. That's why, my friends. Imam Ali alayhi salam. On his way to the battle of Siffin, stopped over in Karbala. He stopped over in Karbala. He sat down on the ground and he was playing with the sand. He was playing with the sand in front of him. his companions who were there came to him, Amir al-Mu'mineen, the chief of the army, you are commander-in-chief. What are you doing playing with sand? What are you doing playing with sand? Imam Ali asked them, what is the name of this place? What is the name of this place? They said, Karbala. So Imam Ali said, Karbun wa bala. Difficulties, suffering. And they corrected him. No, it's not Karbun wa bala, they said it's Karbala. Imam Ali said, Karbun wa bala. Right? And he was crying. Imam Ali was crying with the sand in his hand. And then he went on to tell them that my son Hussein is going to be killed here. He is going to be killed here. And explain how he will be killed. While he was explaining that, one of the companions who was there looked at his friend and remarked, there he goes again, speaking about the future as if he knows. As if he knows what's going to happen. Look at this guy again. A lot of times people, it was hard for them to believe that. How do you know? Like you know what's going to happen in the future. So the companion said, you know what? I'm going to prove that he's a liar. I'm going to prove that he's a liar. So he took a piece of wood that he had, something that was made up that he had, and he dug it in the same place that Imam Ali was sitting and playing with the sand. Dug it there. He dug it there. And obviously went back to the battle and all that happened, and time went on and everything goes on and forward, everything happened. And now when it all happened, when he heard that Hussein has been killed, he said, what? Hussein was killed where? Karbala. Said, wow, that's amazing. Let me go there and see. He went there. He dug in the place where he put the wood. He dug it out, looked at it, and saw that it was the same place that Hussein fell down and was slaughtered. He looked at it and said, unbelievable. Unbelievable. How can that happen? How could this happen? I mean, he wanted to prove Imam Ali's a liar. But my friends, what happened? Did the person have knowledge that Hussein was going to be killed? Yes, he had the knowledge. He had the knowledge from the mouth of Imam Ali. He had the knowledge from the source. He heard it with his own ears. But did that knowledge help him? Why did he help him? Because he did not believe in it. He did not believe in the knowledge he had. If he had believed in it, many companions who heard that Hussein would be killed in Karbala, they were waiting for him in Karbala. Before even Imam Hussein got there, they were saying, we are waiting for you here. Because they believed in it. My friends, making delay in believing in the truth itself is going to make the truth useless for us. Imam Ali alayhi salam had said. He said that if you take too long to believe in the truth, then when you do believe in it, it will become useless for you. It will not help you to know the truth then. We need to increase the capacity of accepting knowledge when we get it. Increase it, accept it right away. When you hear the knowledge, my friends, one of the things we learn in Karbala is just this. What does Imam Hussein do to us? What does this mourning of Imam Hussein do to us? What it does is that it doesn't give us more knowledge than we have. It increases our belief in the knowledge that we already have. When we cry for Hussein, it's not making us know more rules or more things, but it is helping us and increasing our capacity to believe in the knowledge we already have. This is what this mourning gives us. It makes us a believer. Crying for Imam Hussein makes us a believer. Makes us come to terms with the knowledge we already know enough. How much do you want to know to go to Allah? You know, Ayatollah Bahjat, may Allah be pleased with him and raise his soul. One of the ulama who was an arif of the time, in the sense that he was, you know, one of those people that you can know that, you know, like the imam, right, would want him to be around. One of those people, really, soul that is clean. And people used to go to him and ask him, Maulana, Agha, what is the knowledge that can help us to go? You know, give us the knowledge that will help us to grow so that we can go near Allah. Give us some of that knowledge. What should we learn? And Ayatollah Bahjat, every time these people would ask him that, would tell them that you already know enough. You already know enough. What do you mean I know enough? I want to learn philosophy, irfan, you know, Safar, you know, give me those big books, you know. You don't need that to go to Allah. Oh, you have enough knowledge. Don't you know you're going to die? Don't you know that there will be a day of judgment? Don't you know that the life here is minimum and the life in the hereafter is forever? Yes, I know that. Then why isn't that changing you? It's because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I really have not come to terms with it. I haven't accepted it yet. Really haven't accepted it. If I had accepted that, then my life would be different. My vision would be different. My thinking would be different. My attitude, my whole experience would be different. My prayers will be different. You know, my everything will change. Friends, you require not more knowledge, you require to believe in the knowledge that you already have. That's what we need. That is the essence. And when we start doing that, this morning, this azah helps us to increase that. Every time we come to Imam Hussein and learn more about him and to get closer to him, you see, it increases our ability to accept the hardcore facts that are difficult to accept in life. It makes us a believer. That's what it does. Salawat ala Muhammad. You know, Za'ir of Imam Hussein, person who went to visit Imam Hussein, right? And this is what I want you to understand, you know. When you know Imam Hussein had died, how many of us actually have come to terms with that? How many of us have actually come to terms with the fact that this is what happened to Imam Hussein? You know, we hear these things a lot of times, right? But what does that mean for us? You know, a Zair, a visitor to the grave of Imam Hussein, he went to Karbala. It is mustahab to go to Karbala. It is one of those amazing things in life, amazing journeys in life. We go to Karbala, right? He went to Karbala, he got a place for rent on the outskirts. And every day he would go on the roof, he would recite Ziyarat Ashura, he would cry for Imam Hussein, and he would go back down in his room. And again, the next day would come, he would go upstairs, recite Ziyarat Ashura, cry, this and that, and he will go back down. His neighbor saw him doing this every day. He was like, this is a Zair, this is a visitor, foreigner, came over here to Karbala. He said, hey, you know, I see you doing this every day. Have you gone to the haram? He says, no. Haven't gone to the haram. You came all the way here, and you've been here for 4 or 5 days, and you haven't even gone to the haram. Go to the haram. That's where you should go. He says, no, it's all right. I'm good here. I'm fine here. He said, no, you should go there to say, but he wasn't convinced. So he told the alim in the neighborhood that, listen, we have this Zahir here, and we should teach him, explain to him, that he should go to the haram. So the alim invited him for lunch. They came there, they met, and the alim said, you're here, Zahir, inshallah, may Allah bless you and all these things. And then he told them that, listen, you came all the way here, why haven't you gone to the haram? He says, no, I can't, I can't. He said, no, go to the haram, it's good. And he gave all hadiths about visiting Imam Hussain, this and that, and all these things, and insisted that he should go. So the young man said, all right, inshallah, I will go. He decided to go, made himself go, pushed himself to go. He took ghusl the next day, came out of his house, just with all the mustahabat that's mentioned, wear good clothes and everything. And then he was on his way towards the haram. As he was walking towards the haram, the realization that Imam Hussain has been killed there. His legs would start to shake and he would start to cry. He would just start to cry, and they saw a young man walking towards the haram, but he couldn't even walk. He would walk a few steps, his legs would give away, and he would take support of the wall, start crying. Few steps he would take, he would stop crying, he start crying. Could not end. As he reached the haram, next to the haram, he couldn't even walk. He was so much in realization that this is the place Hussein was killed. His heart was racing, his pulse was going so fast, just to see that my Imam was killed here. He was killed here. And then when he went to the place where Imam Hussain was killed, and they showed him, this is where Hussain was killed, then he could not take it anymore. He started hitting himself, and he died right on the spot. This person had, come to terms with the martyrdom of Imam Hussain. He was looking at, my Imam was killed here. It's not a place to take pictures. Let me take some pictures. Here I am. Do you understand that how the Imam was killed? You hear it, but have you come to terms with it? We all know it. This is where Imam Hussain was killed. We have heard it so many times that the pictures that Sheikh Mirza on him and cutting him. But have you come to terms with that? Have you believed in it? We would not stand it just to be there, my friends. This is what it means that you need to believe. We have knowledge, but belief is what is necessary. Otherwise, if you don't believe in it, that knowledge is useless for us. Really, it will be useless for us. We believe, we will see this. The best, an excellent example of that is Salman. Let me tell you a story. You send me a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This Salman Farsi had heard from his teachers that someone is going to come who will speak the truth to mankind. He will show and reveal the knowledges. Salman heard that information from his teachers. They're not masoom or anything. He just heard it. But you know what? That knowledge was enough to inspire him to go in search of this person. He heard that he would be the last prophet. That knowledge just inspired him to just leave where he is so that he can go. I want to be there when he comes. I'm not going to stop. I want to be there. But you're leaving your homeland, Salman. You don't know what's going to happen to you. You have no money in your pockets. You have nothing. You're traveling alone. You might be killed. No, it doesn't matter. I will go in search of this man. He heard that he's going to come in this approximate area. He said, then I have to go there. I will not stop until I go there. I will not stop. He went from land to land, from nation to nation, from sea to sea in search of the Prophet. Until he reached Medina, became a slave there, lived as a slave, didn't matter. I am just living so I can see that man that I heard about. Salman, really, don't you think this is a wild goose chase? Don't you think you're running after a fantasy? No. What I heard, I believed. My friend, Salman went through so much in order to see the Prophet, to be with the Prophet. And when he did come, when that day came, and he came to the masjid of the Prophet and laid his eyes on the man that was his vision, his dream, and his objective in life. When he laid his eyes on the Prophet and the Prophet was sitting there, he just laid his eyes on him. How many years he had searched. When he laid his eyes on the Prophet, all he could say was, is that you? Is that you that I've been searching for? Is that you who were in my dreams? Is that you that I was running after and trying to find? Is that you? And all the Prophet did was smile. And that smile was enough, and Salman was sold. Salman was sold. Just that the Prophet smiled, and he knew this is it. Now Salman became such that Fatima yearned for his company. Fatima yearned for his company, Salman's company. Salman, where are you? You see, my friends, this is what happens when you become a believer and come to terms with the knowledge you have. This is what it makes you to be. Salman believed in the knowledge he had. We hear about he was in the same position that we are in. Don't think this was, oh, it's a history and this and no. He is in the same position that we are in. He was waiting for the Prophet. We are waiting for the Imam. We are waiting for the Imam. We hear, oh, the Imam is going to come, this and that. What are we doing about it? Have we made plans to meet him? My friends, if you had believed the Imam is coming, then why aren't you ready to meet him? Why aren't we ready to meet him? You should have your plan that, listen, if the Imam comes tomorrow, what am I going to do? I'll watch the news. What are we going to do? Do we have a plan? You know, I mean, really, I mean, in Florida we have hurricanes. Here you have an earthquake. I was jolted the other day. I thought I was in a train on the house. What's this? We're moving. He was as if someone hitched the house and was towing it away. He's like, what's going on here? Then I realized, wait a minute, this is a tremor. A probable earthquake, I don't know. You know, but you know, like for hurricanes or these type of things in Florida, we always have a plan. What is your plan in terms of hurricanes? What is your exit strategy? How would you leave? Do you have your things ready? You know, we always have a plan for that. If this happens, what should we do? Is everything ready? Is my car ready? Is my this ready so that I can move? We have a plan. We believe in hurricanes there. We went through them, so we know it comes. Right? So we have a plan. We have an exit strategy. What is your plan for the Imam? You know he's coming. What is your plan? Have you made a plan? My friends, this is where we are right now. You know, those who were with Hussein had already made plans how to be with Hussein. That's why they ended up in Karbala. Those who were not ready, you know, they couldn't. They were somewhere else. If you want to be with the Imam, just listening about him in speeches is not enough, my friends. It's not enough. You need to have a plan. If you believe in something, you'll make a plan. I mean, look at the things we believe in. We believe in retirement, so we're making a plan for retirement. 401k, you know, whatever plans we have for retirement, you know. Why? Because we believe it's coming. Right? We believe it's coming and we make a plan for it. Unfortunately, you know, death is not viewed as retirement. You know, I mean, if retirement is coming, death is coming for sure. You know, really, you don't know if you're going to retire or not. Maybe you'll die before. But you know death is coming. And this is why you know the Imam is coming. What is our plan? My friends, this means that we need to increase the capacity of accepting the knowledge we have. That's what we need. This is what we need. If you have the ability to accept knowledge, then that knowledge will be useful for you. It will be useful for you. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala. Now we come back. Ignorance is not just not knowing something. Ignorance is knowing something and not believing in it. That's ignorance, my friends. The people who opposed Imam Hussein, who came to kill Imam Hussein, were not ignorant of him. See, if the people of Sham had killed Imam Hussein, if the people of Syria had killed Imam Hussein, then they didn't know who Hussein was. They believed that he was a murtad, an apostate, someone who left Islam, and it's wajib to kill him. They had no clue who Imam Hussein was. They didn't know who he was. They had no knowledge of who Ahlul Bayt were. But those people didn't kill Imam Hussein. The people of Kufa knew who Imam Hussein was. The people of Kufa lived with Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein lived with them. Imam Ali ruled over them. They knew the family. They knew what they were. They knew exactly who it is, but still they killed him. Still they killed him. It means that if you know Hussein, it still doesn't make you, that knowledge, useful for you. It still didn't help them. You know who Hussein was, and you know Hussein, really Imam Hussein in his character and characteristics was a person who is likable. His likability was very high. Everyone who met Imam Hussein would like him. You know, there are people that you just like because they're likable. They're just, you know, good people and you feel good around them. Imam Hussein was such a person. The history that's recorded are everyone who met Hussein, they were always like felt warm with him, felt close with him. Imam Hussein was a likable person. Was a likable person. So obviously, him being with the people in Kufa, it wasn't that they hated him, that he was a mean guy and he was like, you know, snobbish or anything like that. He was a very likable person. People would love to be around him. So if Imam Hussein lived with them, then he had friendships there. People liked him. People knew him. They were close to him and still ended up killing him. Still they ended up killing him. You see that? Now, was their knowledge useful for them? They knew it, but they still ended up killing him. Still, my friends, you see, this is what's necessary. If you want to grow and if you want to be with the Imam, then knowing the Imams is not enough. You have to start believing in your knowledge. Raise the capacity to accept your knowledge. That's what's necessary. The people of Kufa who came out to kill him knew who Hussein was, and they still ended up killing him. Now you see the difference between the people of Sham and Kufa. They were ignorant because they didn't know. Kufans were ignorant because they knew and they did not believe in it. That's the difference between the people who faced Imam Hussein. Imam Ali was faced by the people of Sham. He was faced by them. They didn't know who Ali was. They thought he's a criminal. They thought he's not even a Muslim. They were amazed that he died in a masjid. What was he doing in a masjid? So they didn't know. They didn't know about him. But the people of Kufa knew. My friends, understand how important this is. If you want to be with the Imam, then you have to believe in the knowledge you have. If you want to be against the Imam, then you know the Imams, but you do not believe in it. That will easily make you be against the Imam. Those people who fought, they knew exactly who Hussein was. And now Imam Hussein wants to give that lesson to us. You know, it's easier to change people who are ignorant of facts. But it's very difficult to change people who know and they do not believe in it. Really. My friends, have you been to Sham? How many have you been to Sham? Alhamdulillah, very good. Right? If you have been to Sham, Sham was the capital of Muawiyah's government, of Yazid's government. That is where, let's say the enemies had their base. If you go to Sham right now, you will see that the house of Yazid, where he lived, the only thing remaining of that is relics. Broken stones. Exactly. Barren land. I mean, it's like, you're in some sort of a, prehistoric something that's fell apart. No one cares. If you go there, you will see that near it is the grave of Sakina. The grave of Sakina, the 4-year-old daughter of Imam Hussein. Her grave is there. It's right next to his house. The same right there. You go there, you'll see that grave now. How many people come there? Shia and Sunni. They come to her grave asking du'as, making du'as, asking for hajat next to her grave. Making her the means between them and Allah. How many of them, they come there? It's amazing to see how many people just come there for her. This is the same Sham where they regarded Ahlul Bayt as apostates, as non-Muslims. Today that Sham is such that everyone comes and takes the means of Ahlul Bayt for making dua. Imam Hussein is saying that one daughter of mine, Sakina, was enough to change Sham. One daughter of mine, 4-year-old, was enough to change the whole of Sham. 72 of us came to Karbala and we could not change you. We could not change you. 72 of us were killed here in front of you. You butchered us. You butchered us. And those people, one daughter went there, 4-year-old Sakina went there, and she changed Sham. My friends, this is a reminder for us that when we have knowledge of Ahlul Bayt, start believing in it, start accepting it. Then it will change the way you look at things, the way you pray, the way you do things. One Sakina went to Sham, but the road to Sham was not easy. The road to Sham was not easy. 4-year-old. Right? How did that journey begin? Let me just take you, first of all, to Karbala. How did that journey begin? It began on Ashura. where all the people that she looked up to and regarded as her wali, all of them were being killed. Everyone was being killed. That's why it was very hard for Imam Hussein, who was the last of the martyrs, to leave the tents. The reason it was hard for him also, and for the ladies also, because everyone knew that now the only thing protecting the woman from the creatures on the other side is Hussein. If Hussein goes, then it will be an all-out melee for people to come and raid these tents and disrespect and dishonor the women of Ahlul Bayt. They all knew that. Everyone knew that. Imam Hussein knew it more than others. And Imam Hussein, when he went inside the tents to meet all the ladies, he was telling them, be patient, be patient. He told Zainab when he came out with her alone, Zainab, be patient, no matter what happens, do not lose your patience. Take the message where it should be going to Sham. Take the message there. And when Hussein left the tent and got on his horse, Zuljana, he told Zuljana, my faithful steed, one more time I ask you to take me. This would be the last time I am asking you to take me. Go. Zuljana never failed to listen to Imam Hussein, but this time Imam Hussein is telling to the horse, go, but the horse does not move. The horse does not move. Imam Hussein is the Imam of the time, he's the Imam of animals also, and they are obligated to listen to him. Imam Hussein looks at the horse and says, Zuljana, one more time, go. Zuljana looks back at Hussein. If he had a tongue, then we would listen to him saying, Hussein, what can I do? You're asking me to go, but your heart is at my leg stopping me. Your heart is at my leg stopping me. Hussein looked down and saw his daughter Sakina clinging to the legs of the horse, saying to Zuljana, do not take my father. Do not take my father. Hussein got off the horse and looked at Sakina. Sakina, what is the matter? Sakina said, Father, everyone who has gone in this battlefield, they haven't come back. You're also going. My friends, really, I want you to just understand this, you know. A 4-year-old, the choices that a 4-year-old should be making between which toy to buy and play with, that should be the choice a 4-year-old should be making. She shouldn't be making the choice of being an orphan or not. Sakina, you shouldn't be making this choice. How hard is it for you to make the choice that you're going to lose your father, and now Hussein is saying, let me go? Sakina, you shouldn't be making that choice. You're 4 years old. Hussein's heart has melted by Sakina's situation. Don't you understand how hard it is for Hussein? Sakina says, Father, I have always slept with you. One more time, let me sleep on your chest. You know, Sakina, her real name is Ruqayya. Her real name is Ruqayya, but Hussein nicknamed her Sakina because she was the reason of tranquility for Hussein. Every time Hussein would be feeling pressure or under hardship, he would bring Sakina next to him and his heart would calm down. He said, Sakina, you are the answer to my prayers of my night prayers. When I used to get up at night and pray to Allah, I would ask Allah, Allah, give me a daughter who would bring me peace and content and tranquility. So Allah has given you to me, Sakina. So I put Sakina on his chest. He put Sakina on his chest, and Sakina, in that situation, obviously she's thirsty, she's tired. How many things she has seen when she put her head on the chest of Hussein, right away she fell asleep. It's as if a complete calmness came over the whole environment in Karbala. Everything stopped. It's as if time stopped just for that one moment where father and daughter can be together in the final embrace before the father is giving the choice to his daughter that you are going to become an orphan. You are going to become an orphan, Sakina. When Sakina woke up, Hussein said, Sakina, I have to go, but Sakina, let me just make a trade with you. You know, Sakina, since you were born, I was keeping you on my chest and you would sleep on my chest. You never were away from me, Sakina. Never were you away from me. Never. I've always kept you with me. Even after Ali Asghar was born. Ali Asghar used to sleep with his mother. You used to sleep with me. Sakina, yes, father. Hussein said, but let me make a trade now. Let's make a trade. Until today, you used to sleep on my chest. Ali Asghar used to sleep with your mother. From today, you sleep with your mother, and Ali Asghar, let Ali Asghar sleep with me. Sakina let go of his father. But she knew he would be going. Now just imagine how she saw Hussein leave the tent, even though Hussein is scarred with the blood of the martyrs. But when now the next time she met Hussein, it was a few hours later she met Hussein again, and she saw the body of Hussein again. When she saw the body of Hussein on Sham-e-Ghariba, there was no head, there are no fingers, his body is mutilated, 34 wounds from swords, 33 gashes from spears, and so many arrows embedded in him that no one could recognize this is Hussein. But Sakina knew the heart of Hussein. When she came close to him, she fell on top of him saying, Father, you have left me, Father, you have made me an orphan. Ya Mahmud bihaqi Muhammad, Ya Allah bihaqi Ali, Ya Fatir as-samawat bihaqi Fatir, Ya Muhsin bihaqi Hasan, Ya Qadim al-Ahsan bihaqi Hussain. Oh Allah, give us the tawfiq to be on the right path. Use the wisdom to understand your guidance. Hasten the reappearance of our Imam. Make us his helper when he comes. Matam Hussain, Ya Hussain. Ya Hussain, 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 Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. There was a flower who people call Sakina, who cried till she died in the midst of herself. There was a flower who people call Sakina, who cried till she died in the midst of herself. There was a flower who people call Sakina, who cried till she died in the midst of herself. The pain, the torture, the sores, the gashes, her father's death in front of her eyes crashes. In her dreams she sees all those flashes. In her dreams she sees all those flashes, when the innocent blood of a father's splashes. There was a flower who people call small Sakina, who cried till she died in the midst of